Your sex tape just leaked
Oh
online.
my God.
What's the first thing you're doing after you find out?
Probably watch it.
This is No But For Real.
Nah, but for real, tell me how I feel.
What up, everybody? I'm Dave,
I'm Jazzy.
and welcome to your favorite podcast, No But For Freaking Real. Nels, how are you?
I'm good, as I'm gonna be. It's a lot going on in this world over here, but I'm pressing
Man,
through.
you got to keep pressing on.
Got to.
Well, good. How was your week?
It's pretty. You know what's going on right now in my life? It's a whole lot of specifically, obviously, but it's a whole lot of good things. There's a whole lot of bad things. So it's my week has been that. It's been just oh, okay, this is great, this is great, this is great. Oh, it's not so great, not so great. So, it's just right now I feel like this last week is really teaching me how to focus on all the good things, all the things that I can't control. All the things that I can't control, you just gotta learn to live with it. So it's been, I would say, a good week because I'm deciding to focus on the good things. I'm grateful for the good things, I don't know what would be going on in my mind right now. And if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for, me getting that job and, me, it seems like things are aligning where I should be going. Last week compared to the week before and the week before that, it's actually awesome. But there's still all these other things going on. So, I mean, like I said, I just feel like it's a good thing, like I said, that I'm having these things go on. And like I said, it's just teaching me to focus on all the good things and run with those. And it's making it easier for me to deal with all the horror things going on. So I would say my last week was pretty good. Major changes coming. Seeds that I have planted in real estate is coming along as well. That's about to, there's some major things that's about to happen that's really about to change my life in this next year. So I'm really excited about that. Keep trying to keep that in mind. With everything that I'm doing, I'm going to be so busy working because I need some money. So I'm going to be so busy working 7 days a week for probably the next few months. And, I'm just keep telling myself, just waiting on the seeds to harvest.
Yeah.
Just waiting on this to harvest. So, yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm at. How was your week?
Man, my week was busy. It was a national holiday yesterday.
Absolutely.
International holiday, actually.
That's
Because
international.
people celebrate it all over the world.
Your niece is 32 years old.
I am a whole 32-year-old grown aspirin man.
How them knees feeling?
Actually, they feel great today because I did a few healthy things yesterday.
Period.
That I also need to do again today. My birthday was yesterday.
Absolutely.
And it was a great day. Celebrated with family and friends and all that stuff. I celebrate all month, so be prepared to receive a text soon. Be like, we're celebrating tonight. So, but your birthday was 3 weeks ago. I don't care.
I don't care.
It's still September. That's
It's
all
still
that
Virgo
matters.
season, right, Virgo?
Yeah.
Period.
Quick aside, I have no idea what any of that means. I just be
don't
like,
mean
yeah,
anything.
I'm a Virgo.
Yeah, it don't mean nothing.
All right, cool.
We just say it just to say. I mean, some people really,
Yeah, y'all be
believe in
like,
it, but
y'all be doing your research, talking to the stars and all that stuff. I just be like, hey, live your life.
Yeah.
Whatever. Birthday was great. I was in Pittsburgh at the Morgan Wallen concert, country singer. Never heard of this white boy. But he was dope. I love music. I even like a little bit of country, and he was dope. But let me tell you what's crazy.
What?
Few things. First thing was his story, right? This dude was playing in local bars 5 years ago, and now he's selling out stadiums. That's all it took for me to hear. I was just
Right.
like, well,
Right?
my focus is back. Because,
Okay.
like, what? 5 years of really being dedicated to your craft and really, like, grinding? I said, my goal is to do it in 4.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I came across a post where there's like some black country singers.
Oh, yeah.
And they
Yeah,
were
yeah,
really
yeah.
good. I was like, oh, okay. It was some females. It was some guys, and like
Yeah.
some of the guys looked kind of like hip hop, but he was singing country. It was weird, like, but it was dope. Like at the same
Yeah.
time, I'm like, look at us.
But let me
listen,
tell
we
you
can do
what's-
whatever.
Like, people be so focused on one part of the music industry. The music industry is so big,
It's so big, yeah.
and it's like country music, that's an industry within its own. Like, everything else is over here. Country music is here. And I mean, it was actually a few more black people than I thought it would be too, that came to this concert. And he also brought out Wiz Khalifa, which was so dope.
Random.
Which I was like, when would y'all ever cross paths? But that's the music
Wiz is
industry.
kind of, I don't feel like he's
But
like,
he's from Pittsburgh, so
okay.
I was just like, dope.
I feel like Wiz is kind of versatile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's definitely crossed over. The second thing I want to point out, this is part of the public service announcement. My clothing line is dropping this month.
Period.
It's coming back out, right? And for a moment, I was battling like, man, like, how much should I charge? You know, I don't want people to pay too much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was at this concert, working the merch table. The Pirates baseball stadium in Pittsburgh holds over I want to say 30,000 people. It was probably, 40,000 people. Sold out. I did the numbers because I could like see how much money was made over the 2 days. Just merch alone. $2.1 million
Wow.
on merch.
So what's the name of your clothing line?
I'm gonna get to that. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Let me tell you, these shirts, these hoodies, all this other stuff was like 45 and up. He was selling guitars for $1,000. We sold out.
Wow.
And I said,
Guitars?
guitars, autographed
Wow.
guitars for $1,000, and we sold out.
Wow.
And I was like,
What am I doing here?
yeah, F what everybody else think. Like, my
Right.
prices is just fine.
Right?
I saw thousands upon thousands upon tens and thousands of these white people buy this merch like it was nothing.
There's a market for everything.
Right.
Like, and a lot of people they focus on like the general, like a lot of people focus on like the general, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like I don't even know if I say popular, but like just a general range of people. But there's a such thing as like a small range of people that's still it's not really small. It can still be this big old market, like country music.
Let me tell you,
It's a whole market of people. Okay,
when
okay.
you build something that people believe in, money's nothing.
People spend their money on what they want to spend it on.
Right. And I was just like, yep, I'm taking notes. Cool. And the T-shirts was literally just his face.
Wow.
And they believed in this dude so much. They loved him so much. They was like, I will spend $300 on 3 T-shirts and whatever. I don't care. And I was like, yep, I got it. Cool. Because when I go to stuff like this, like people be like, oh, I'm in loving the concert. I'm taking notes.
Right.
I'm
Like, okay, so You do that one.
Cool.
Okay.
That's right there for a reason. Cool. Jot that down. You selling this?
Right.
Okay, let me jot
Right.
that. Oh, yeah. And I was just like, yeah, that's all I needed for it to just click. So,
For sure.
and so yeah, it was a good time watching all these drunk white people fan out.
You love
over.
laughing at white people.
What? It is one of my greatest pastimes. What? It is absolutely amazing.
You so funny.
Matter of fact, I need to catch up on the most recent episode of
Shut
Sister
up.
Wives.
I ain't trying to hear about
There
Sister
you
Wives
go.
today.
Thank you for reminding me. Okay.
Oh my God.
But other than that, man, my week was good. I'm looking forward to year 32. My 3 words for this year is self-discipline, consistency, and the most important word, no.
No.
The N-O, no. It's gonna make a lot of people mad. When I tell you my focus is like right on back. And I've already made a few people mad already. And that's okay, because y'all gonna benefit off of it in 4 to 5 years. So life is good. It's gonna get better. And I'm just looking forward to this new year. It's gonna be a fun one. So yeah, it's all good. This next segment is called Let's Get Personal. What are we getting personal about? What's the question?
All right, my arms hurt. All right. Your sex tape just leaked
Oh
online.
my God.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I can. Whatever. What's the first thing you're doing after you find out? I guess hypothetically speaking, because what?
First thing I'm doing, probably watch it. I'll probably watch it.
What? Would you make a sex tape?
No.
I mean,
Never.
with your wife?
No.
Why not?
No. I don't want to see myself. There are a lot of things I would like to see myself doing.
That's not one of them.
No. Mm-mm. No, I just don't. No. Mm-mm.
Absolutely not.
No. I just feel like most people feel like they look great having sex in their mind until they actually see it.
Right? That's exactly what I was going to say. Like,
And
I'm pretty sure I'm going to see a roll or two.
And I'm just like, you know what?
My fupa going to be hanging out somewhere.
I'm like, I'm already a little insecure about my body, so let's not.
Right. We don't need to display that, you know?
No.
We just have our intimate moment behind closed doors and leave it there. We don't need the cameras and all of that.
For what?
But some people, you know, I guess it's excitement for some people.
And it's that adrenaline rush. You know, let's do something different, baby. Like,
Right. But it's like,
I don't
there's
know
so
why
many
you would say it like
different
that, but I
feel like they say it just like that.
just like that. Hey, you wanna
What you want to do, man?
let's record this
Set
real
up
quick.
the camera. You got
Set
all.
up.
Hey, but Dave, you got all the equipment. I feel like your sex tape would be lit.
No.
All your editing skills, all your producing skills.
Nah.
It'll be lit for real. It might go viral.
I was definitely gonna go viral, but
No thanks, huh?
actually,
What
you
you
know
think
what?
my answer is?
Real talk, if it did leak, I would I don't know, sell it to or put it on OnlyFans or something, make some money.
I'm deleting
It's already out there. Whatever. It's already out. I guarantee you somebody screen recorded it and it's already around the country. Of course, I'm going to try to delete it. Find the source. First of all, how did my sex tape get out?
Right?
That's the question. Let's start there.
I'm gonna be looking at the other person in the sex tape. Like, you had to leak it.
Right, because who
I
else
can't
would have
trust you
had
no
it?
more. Who was around to know?
Who else would have had the sex tape? No, thank you.
You know, I don't even have naked pictures in my phone. Me neither. You know, like people will say, like, me being a bartender, like, people will ask, like, can I follow you on Instagram and stuff like that? And a lot of times I will just give them my phone because I'll be busy or whatever. And so they can just go ahead and type their name into my Instagram or whatever. And a lot of them would like joke like, "Oh, I saw your naked pictures." Like, bro, there is no naked pictures in there. So no, you didn't. And I'm just saying that to say, if I don't even got naked pictures in my phone, what makes you think a camera is going to be anywhere in my forefront when I'm having sex? Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, a sex tape will never leak because I will never have one, you know?
Never.
But hypothetically, you know, let's just say they snuck and recorded me and it did leak out. I'd probably cry.
I was about to say you would have an emotional breakdown.
I would probably cry. Like I don't want to be seen that way in any way, shape, or form. So absolutely not. Like no, you know. And I have insecurities about my body too. So it's just like I don't want to see it. I don't want nobody else to see it. Like my naked body is for me and my intimate partner. That's it. It is not for anybody else. So sex tapes is just not my thing. Like I said, if it got leaked out, I'll be sad. I don't know what I would do other than that. I'd probably just cry and, you know, try to get over it. I don't know.
Yeah, because what you gonna, if this is out, like there's nothing, you can't go back.
I probably had to delete my social media.
You can't go back. I wouldn't delete mine. I'd just be like, yep, it happened.
Catch me on the knob, but for real,
Cool.
Other than that,
I'll see you on the podcast.
I don't know what to tell you.
Subscribe.
I am not a...
I mean, you could definitely subscribe now. You never know what you might see at this point. Shit.
Hey, right.
Whatever.
This might be our big break.
Right. I mean, if it can happen
my
if it
God.
can happen for Kim, it
Oh,
can
my
happen
God.
for anybody.
You know what? That's so true.
Shut up. You're
It definitely
so
did.
stupid.
It happened like, that's crazy.
There's a lot of people
We
who
did
got
not
famous
know
off
who
of
that
sex
lady
tape.
was. She was already rich though, but I think anyway.
But
she
nobody
wasn't
cared.
famous.
Nobody was checking for her.
Yeah,
And then once that sex tape came out, her mama was like, "Here we go."
right. This is our big break.
Yeah.
But it's Kim Kardashian. Who wants to be like her other than her money? No, thank you. I'll take your money, not
Listen,
anything that comes with you.
This is not.
Besides that.
This is not a. This is like I ain't trying to like stutter nobody. I've met Kim, and she's actually really nice and a very smart businesswoman. Like, I will give her that. Everything else, go live your life.
Yeah.
But I will say that is a very smart businesswoman, and people fall for the okey doke every time.
No, I think a lot of people out there, regardless of their persona, like, you know, people talk about Cardi B, oh, she's ratchet, but she's actually smart too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of
Yeah.
people that are smart. This is the thing. Your reputation precedes you, you know? So at the end of the day, my reputation means more to me than me being, I'd rather be known for being a smart businesswoman than to be known for being a person who became famous from a sex tape. You know,
Yeah.
it's no shade. That's you, and you know that's your life. I'm just talking about me, for Jazzy. That is not something I would want to be known for, and that's something that she is known for. And unfortunately, you know, I can't relate. Other things I would love to see, you know, be more at the forefront. Just like I said with a Cardi B or some, you know, they don't talk about that type of stuff with those type of women. They're known for all the other things when really they can be known for other things. They're just not. But you're only known for those things because these are the things that you participate in. So
True.
at the end of the day,
It's multiple things can be true. You can be a stripper.
no, yeah, I
You
think
can be a
so,
stripper,
too.
and you could be a smart businesswoman.
They say
It's-
2 Chainz is super smart. He got, you know, degrees and all that and whatever, but nobody talks about that.
No.
So yeah, I don't like that. I didn't like that question. It wasn't that personal.
I loved it.
We can't relate.
It's great. No, cannot. I can. If it happened, I'm telling y'all now. Enjoy. I'm not going to even try to fight. I'm not going to even try to fight to take it down. It's just like,
I am.
Well-
Where's the lawyers at? How much it's gonna cost?
Y'all can
Oh yeah. Well,
go
count
enjoy.
negative right now. I ain't got it. All right.
all right, this next segment is called Let's Keep It Real.
Let's keep it real.
What we getting real about today?
Okay.
Push pause.
All right.
I just want y'all to know I am going to be just here.
No, you're not.
This
You
is
have to
just-
engage.
I'm going to engage, but most of this episode, I'm telling y'all now, I'm just be like, you right.
No,
I'm kidding. Let's do it.
you better not, cause we listen. Cut. You have to engage.
I will.
Could did this over a Zoom call. Don't play with me
What
like
are
that.
we talking about today?
We're talking about the angry black woman today. That sounds really horrible. But there's the reason why I want to talk about this. One, I can 100% relate to it. I feel like I identify as that woman. I know that it's derogatory on us black women, because it stemmed from black women. It's this impression on black women that we are this angry breed. And a lot of times, if I bring this up to other black women, the very first thing that they would say is, well, nobody calls white women an angry white woman. The thing is...
Yeah, they do. They just call them Karens.
So Karen's is more like a snitch. Karen's is a snitch,
Yeah,
don't
that's
mind your
true.
business. White people got their stereotypes too. And my thing is this. Why is it that we say something about black people, immediately black people be like, well, y'all don't say this about white people. But if we say Black Lives Matter, we get mad at white people for saying, well, why doesn't all lives matter? Like, why can't we just focus on what we have going on in our race and our culture, the stereotypes, all the things that we have to fight as black people? Why can't we talk about that and have these discussions about that without having to incorporate other races and their struggles and what they go through? Why can't we just talk about us?
Right.
Just like I said with Black Lives Matter, we get mad when we say when people are offended by that phrase, but we're not saying that all lives don't matter. We're just reacting to what's going on in the world, and advocating for our lives mattering, because it does seem that our lives doesn't matter as much.
Right.
So when I say the angry black woman, I'm not saying that there isn't other stereotypes out there for other races. That's just not the conversation today. That's the only thing.
No, it's the focus is on black women.
As of today, I'm not saying that I want to talk about only black women for the rest of my life, but that's more so my passion is black women. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this a topic, because I think it's something that we've lived with this stereotype. At some point, we lived with this stereotype where it's like, oh, I'm trying to fight against it. I'm trying to change the perception of it. But then it also, I feel like it has manifested to, well, this is just what black women are.
Right.
Just deal with it. It's not us being angry. It's just how black women are. So I think that there's this dismissive attitude with black women when it comes to how we present ourselves, how we speak, and all of those things. There's this dismissive attitude about that when, this is an introspection show, this is an accountability show. If we are only focused on, well, it's okay, we can't grow from that. It's okay to look at yourself and say, okay, that was a little aggressive. That was a little hostile. That was a little, I do talk with a little bit of aggression. And is it getting me the results that I want to get? We talk about that all the time. Like, are my decisions giving me the results that I want? So that's why I wanted to talk about it, because honestly, I think the angry black woman, and we're going to obviously go into depth about it, is very counterproductive to a black woman's journey, as far as what we're capable of and the things that we are able to do and the things that we are capable of doing. Our effectiveness as a black woman could be, in my opinion, so much better if we can diffuse this angry black woman story, this angry black woman stereotype, if we can diffuse that with our actions, I feel like that will be more productive to the things that we are able to do as black women. So did you have anything to say about that? No. You're going to say you're right. I forgot.
You
So
right.
I have a definition here. And obviously there's no real definition, but I love this definition because it literally is what the angry black woman is, obviously, but it's obviously not it's not in Webster or nothing like that, obviously. But there's a bunch of studies on this angry black woman. This is a real thing. There's a bunch of studies on it. It's a bunch of research on it. There's more than likely going to be there's going to probably be a 2-part episode because we're going to talk about the research and the statistics and all of those things. So this came from one of the studies I read. So it's a stereotype that black women are more hostile, aggressive, overbearing, illogical, ill-tempered, and bitter. So the first question I have about that definition, do you know any black women like that?
Who like hits every mark?
No, they don't have to hit every mark.
Yeah.
Of course you do. Because they exist, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that's my point. When I read that definition, I'm like, I could think of 10 women right now that are just like that, me included. Me included. So that's one of the reasons when I read that definition, I'm like, you can't tell me that this is not something to talk about because these women exist. A lot of us were raised by these type of women.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not act like this isn't a thing, because it is. Do I want to be looked at as aggressive, overbearing, illogical, ill-tempered, and bitter? Absolutely not. And I think sometimes us women, we would, we will react to something, we'll do something, and then it's like, well, we did this because of this, and nobody talks about how this happened, how we got there, da-da-da-da. And it's just like, yeah, but does it take away from it being an issue just because you have a reason? Everybody has a reason to do something. I mean, people can do all kind of terrible things, but have a reason to do those things. So again, I wanted to talk about that because these type of women do exist. And like I said, I think it's counterproductive to what we can be as women, as far as our attitudes and as far as how we express ourselves. If we can diffuse this in any way, I feel like that's going to help us. And it's going to, how can this stereotype even be if all we do is defend it? Like, oh, I'm going to defend my anger, but I'm still against the whole angry black woman label, but I'm still going to defend it by having excuses for my anger, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Instead of being the woman that is not angry, right? We rather focus on being angry and not being looked at as angry instead of not being angry. Therefore, you wouldn't be looked at as angry, right?
Yeah, I think.
What do you think about the definition? Without your actual opinion on the angry black woman, what do you think about the actual definition?
So, with this newfound curiosity that I have just on life in general, mm-hmm. when I hear the definition, my mind goes to, okay, why?
Why what?
Why is she angry?
Exactly.
Why is she bitter? Because nobody wakes up and just is that way.
We're gonna get to that, Dave.
And that's I'm curious to know, okay, you are angry, but anger is a secondary emotion. There's something underneath all that.
Right.
Where it's like, okay, let's get to the anger is the surface, okay? So let's get to the root of it, because the angry black woman started from something. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some women, if not most, which I kind of understand why, because women have a tendency to technically lead with their emotions first and then think after. So even the angry black woman, if that's what most people see, then of course that stereotype is going to come out and be a thing. But it goes back to the curiosity of why.
Right. And honestly, today, I only really want to focus on the what. The why is going to be so many layers to that why. That's a whole episode.
Right.
So that's going to be our part 2. Because, I mean, when I was going through, prepping for the episode or whatever, I'm like, I was trying to get the why in there, but the what was taken up so much. I'm like, this going to have to be a 2-part, which I already knew that it was probably going to have to be a 2-part because the why is so complex. It is, I think, honestly, just to kind of jump ahead, it's a generational thing. It's so much that goes into the angry black woman. And that's the reason why I wanted to bring this up. Because I don't want to jump the gun too much. So I have here so many women fit this description. I feel like in the media a lot, on social media, a lot of times when I'm on social media, literally probably every other post of a woman speaking fits that description, fits that definition. Sometimes it's not like with our anger, sometimes it's not even what we're saying, it's how we're saying it.
Absolutely agree.
So like I'll see just random clips of just random videos of women talking about their frustrations. And they would be talking so aggressively, like, say they're frustrated about a situationship, a man, that's a trend, talking about situationships, men don't do this, whatever. And it's like the way they will speak, it will be, I ain't doing that. And it's just like, how do you, and it's like, I get it. We get the emotion, but the whole demeanor of how we express ourselves is the issue, I feel like, obviously, I know that a lot of us, we don't have that, we all don't share that same feeling of it being a bad thing to kind of just be this stern, aggressive woman. But I think, like I said, I think it's just an issue. So like, let me just think of an example. Like I said, like on social media, like women would immediately, they would just start, like the beginning of their video, they would just be, oh, I'm gonna have 2 or 3 niggas. You know what I'm trying to say? Like how they talk is how I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. Just the way women speak nowadays is just, it's aggressive. It's angry. It's not like you talking in a regular tone. We don't have that. We do have women that are like that talk in regular tones. But I feel like there is this influx of women who feel like that's their strength, right? Like they're kind of tying their anger with their strength. They're trying to be strong. And we're going to talk about that too. So I think, like I said, is just saying it to say it's definitely out there. We seeing it in the media a lot where women are extremely aggressive with their delivery, how they talk about their frustrations. It's always this like tough guy act kind of thing. Let me see what I have. I said mothers, and we already talked about that. I think a lot of us were raised by angry black women, raised by ill-tempered, bitter, aggressive, hostile, overbearing, illogical women. A lot of us were raised by those people. You got the bitter baby mama, right? You can't say that that's not the angry black woman description. We deal with a lot of bitterness when it comes to black women and co-parenting with black men. We see that all the time. But, oh no, it's because the man's doing this, the man's doing that. We still have the power to make our own decisions. We can still be angry without delivering it in an aggressive way. So that's another thing.
I want to point out too.
Yeah.
I've learned over the last few years that there is a difference between being passionate about something and being angry. I think, in some, not all, most people confuse being passionate with being angry. When a very passionate black woman speaks, it ain't even women, it's not. When what I find what's interesting, when a passionate man speaks, nobody says he's angry, black man. But when a very passionate woman speaks, she's an angry black woman. I've seen it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But most people confuse the two because they look very similar. So a black woman can be speaking out of just pure passion for something she's very passionate about. But if you don't know how to differentiate the two, you will always see that she's angry.
Mm-hmm.
And you will question things like, well, I hear what you're saying, but what you so angry for? And it's like, it's not anger, it's passion. But people can really confuse the two. I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
I've confused it a lot. And it's just like, this person cares about this thing so much that it seems like they're angry, but they're really just passionate about it. And if the things they aren't passionate about, that they are passionate about, aren't going a certain way, it may rile them up a bit, but they can come off as pissed off and angry, but they're just passionate. Now that's something they're passionate about. Anger is, like I said, a secondary emotion. Anger has a different, if you're really paying attention to a person, anger has a specific look.
All right, let's look up the definitions of passionate. Strong feelings, a showing or caused by strong feelings or a strong belief. Angry, or anger, I should say, probably. A strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility.
So yeah, it's a display of a strong feeling. And if you passionate or seeing a black woman passionate about a thing, you will get the strong feelings confused.
I think that when I speak on this podcast, I'm speaking with passion.
Yeah.
I am not speaking with anger. And I don't think that people confuse that. I think people see me passionate. I don't think people see me as angry. So I get what you're saying. I just think that there is a difference, 100%. And for the person viewing it, they may confuse it. But as the person saying it, we can confuse it too. We can confuse it. We can think that we're speaking out of passion because we might be speaking out of passion, but that doesn't take away from the anger and the aggression that's coming along with it. And I know this firsthand because I am both. So I know when I'm speaking with, first of all, I know now. Before, I didn't know. You know, my passion can come out in all different kind of emotions. But understanding your emotions and understanding how to handle your emotions and understanding what they are and everything changes your delivery. It changes how you speak. It makes you aware because it's been times where it's been a long time since I posted an episode where I'm speaking because of that. Sometimes I would, it was one time I sent you a video and you was like, I loved it, but why are you yelling?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm passionate. No, I'm yelling.
Right.
Understand the difference? So now you don't understand how much you helped me by saying that. Yeah, you were joking, but at the end of the day, that was immediately your first impression.
Right.
Because that's what the delivery is what people hear first. The delivery is what sticks with people. The way we speak, the way we express ourselves weighs heavier on the things that we are actually saying. You know, there is people where they on social media, like some people be like, well, I don't like this certain person. I don't like this certain person. It's not because of what they're saying. It's because of how they're saying it. So having passion for something
Right.
does not excuse aggressive delivery at all. And yes, I think that people can confuse the two, but I don't think it's just the viewers that can confuse the two. I think it's also the people delivering the message that confuse the two as well. Because right now, I'm speaking with passion, but I am not speaking with aggression. There is a difference, right? And the difference is things like yelling, right? When you're yelling, or, you know, when you just have this this tone, like you can tell when someone's tensed. You can tell when their muscles is tensing up. You know, when people start talking and it's like they about to get up and try to fight you, you know, that's a type of aggression. Certain words, certain language can give off a certain type of aggression. So I think, yes, I think that's a very important thing to point out. I don't think it's an excuse, though. I think it's still something to, like I said, I do it myself. Sometimes I'll record a video and I'll be like, you sound like you ready to punch somebody. Redo that. Talk normal. You know what I'm saying? You can still get the same message out by just talking normal. That's one thing. One thing that I really adore about you, Dave, is your delivery when you speak. You talk very calmly, and I'll hear a lot of women say that, like, oh, I want to, you know, women will say, I want a man that can handle my mouth, that's calm, you know, that's calm or whatever. But men need the calmness too. You know, why is it that you want somebody to conform to your anger, but he's not allowed to be angry with you? You're not going to be, or if he's angry with you, you're going to get angry back instead of being calm with him.
Let me tell you what happens when you, I think I've said this at least 40 times on this podcast. Your delivery means everything.
It does.
And I'm going to tell you, you can talk to a man about anything, but if your delivery is off, it's a wrap. And what it's going to do, number one, it drains him. It absolutely drains us when you come in hot. Listen, it ain't got to be like that. We can literally sit down and talk.
Right.
If you are having an emotional moment, I'm not even trying to take away from your emotional moment. Have your moment and then come talk to me.
Right.
If you cannot calm down enough for you to come talk to me like an adult, go see a therapist.
Right.
Because there's nothing I can do.
Right. Right.
And I'm not going to meet you where you at. Because now nothing's going to get resolved.
Right.
Now, there are people, it's some flies in here and they piss me off. There are some men who will meet you where you are. Like, we all ain't the same. We all don't think the same, act the same, all that. But generally, it is the woman who comes in hot first. Because y'all are emotional beings. You are allowed to feel your emotions. What you cannot do is allow your emotions to get the best of you to the point now we ain't even reaching a solution.
Right.
Because now you done did all this yelling, rolling the neck, eye rolls, you hollering. At this point, I don't even want to talk to you no more.
Right. And it's not even just relationships. This can be in the workplace.
Yep.
This can be with anyone. And that's kind of what I want to go into. Well, I'm kind of jumping the gun a bit, but it's fine. Is it effective? You know, we defend this passionate anger, this passionate aggressive, but is it effective? Is it getting you the results you want? You know, I've had that issue in the workplace all the time. People will look at me like, well, it's just, you know, you're a little intimidating. You know, I've heard people say that in the workplace to me. You know, they don't want to come and talk to me because they feel like I'm going to maybe curse them out or say something
People
smart
said
or
that about me too, and I just be like, intimidated by what though?
I think
You just have this very strong presence about you, and that's why you intimidated. Because
so. I
look
think it's a
confident?
different intimidation on that. Like confidence can seem intimidating to an insecure person. But when you give off this kind of like, I don't know, I don't want to be bothered. I'm just anything you say, I might get offended by it. Being offended, how we react to being offended, could come off as angry and aggression.
Oh, 'cause
Just
most times you are if you're offended, but most people choose. I've learned most people choose to live in offense, and if you choose to live in offense, you are going to be angry every day.
what's living in offense?
You don't want peace. You want to be validated in your hurt feelings. So you wake up in offense. You talk to people in offense. You eat in offense. Like you're choosing a lifestyle of being offended because that's what gets you attention. That's what gets people talking to you. That's what makes you feel seen because you are afraid to disappear in life. And you feel like nobody will see you unless you are voicing how offended you are about something, which I don't really understand why people do that. Like, you will rarely hear me talk about things I don't like. Rarely. You hear me talk about things I love, things that I'm passionate about, things I don't like. You won't hear me talk about it because I don't like it. So why give it attention? What is it about the things you don't like that has such a power over you? You have to talk about it every time. Oh, I hate this. Oh, I hate going over there. Or I hate being here. Or I hate this food. Or I hate
The dark cloud.
what do you
And I feel like that's what this angry black woman, this stereotype of this angry black woman is. That's what it kind of is. That's what it kind of is. Like this dark cloud. That's this like I said, being offended. How we react to being offended. Like I'm pretty sure whoever watched this episode immediately after hearing the phrase angry black women, they're going to get angry at that.
Yeah, you're going to be offended.
You're going to be offended by that.
However, I want to say, be curious about your offense. Because when you hear angry black woman and all of a sudden you get pissed off, first check you. Don't come here checking us because we just talking about it. Be curious about why you're offended.
Okay.
Because it says more about you than what's happening in this studio right now.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say in the beginning. I forgot. I wanted to say, if you want to know if you are an angry black woman, if you get mad at hearing about angry black women, then you are an angry black woman.
And I can't wait to hear the people say, well, you a black man. Why are you talking about angry black women? One, this is my studio. This is my show, and I can. Number two, it's a conversation that needs to be talked about. And as a black man, I am here to... Right. I'm on the other side of it. I'm on the receiving end of it. And also, I'm here to learn, and I'm here to just have casual conversation.
Yeah.
And that's how you grow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's the thing too about being offended. I had a conversation with my brother about how to be careful about how you speak about certain topics because of offending, because you can offend certain people. And he brought up some really amazing points about that, because there are some topics that if you do not educate yourself, which is the reason why I don't get on here without doing research first. I do not talk about anything that I have not studied ever. And that's another thing too. I feel like a lot of people have these empty opinions. They have opinions based on their life and their experiences only. And they're not looking at a general view of whatever the topic is. It's like, okay, so they call, just an example, they call a judge's rulings opinions. But they call that an opinion because judges actually go through research. They actually conduct research and form an opinion from that research. That's why they call it an opinion. My thing is it a real opinion without research? I don't believe it's a real opinion without research. You have to have some type of logic behind your opinion. It can't just be based on your personal experiences.
That's why they call it an educated opinion.
I feel like opinion should be educated. I don't think it's an opinion without it
But
being
the reason
education.
people have to say educated opinion is because the flip side of it. There are people who just giving their opinion just to give it.
Right.
You've done no research. You're going based off your
just
own
your own personal experience.
And nobody's taking away from your experience. But life ain't just about you.
Right.
So that's the reason I think people have to say educated opinion.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of uneducated people just
Giving opinions. Yeah. So when it comes to being, like I said, when it comes to being offended, when it comes to me being careful about offending people, I don't really believe in that, right? There are some times where you probably should, and that goes back to delivery, right? Or you probably should give disclaimers on certain things, because you don't want people to feel like, I don't know how to explain, whatever it is, you don't want people to feel like they just are defeated. There's no way to
Absolutely.
get better. There's no way, because, and that's the only disclaimer that I got. Being offended is not a bad thing, is basically what I'm trying to say. I think that is the first step to growth. I get like, I'm so tired of hearing about, you're going to offend this, you're going to offend this person. I don't care.
Right.
I genuinely do not care. I get on social media all the time, and I'm offended immediately. It's so many things on social media that offends me, but it actually helps me. Like, there was a video that went viral where it was a woman. She was talking, she was giving examples of how women basically talk to their men, or just how women talk, how they argue, certain ways that women argue that are counterproductive to the argument. When I say I fit into every single one of those categories, like she did like 4 or 5 examples, and I'm like, dang, I do all of those things. And it was literally making me cringe watching it. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm really this woman. That offended me. But I wasn't like on her comments like, girl, bye. Take this down. You don't know my story. It's okay to be offended. I love that. I absolutely love that. That's like, I tell Dave all the time, like, I love when people are honest with me, when people are blunt with me, when people are, like I said, when you say, why are you yelling? I love that stuff. That's growth. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I just have a different perspective, I feel like, on being offended. I don't like how people are making it out to be this horrible thing. Oh, you offended me. So what? If it's making you a better person, why does it? That's how it's supposed to be. I remember I used to watch for Passion for Christ movement. They used to have poetry. I don't think they do it anymore, but they used to have poetry slams. And I would never forget, at the end of one of this girl's poems, she said, "If your flesh is mad, that's great, because I was sent to upset it."
Yeah.
Meaning, you're going to get a little angry when I speak sometimes.
The truth always is going to offend. And nobody wants to talk about it, but it is.
It's like, and what's wrong with that? So we rather be lied to. We rather say, it's okay to be angry.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just keep yelling at your man. Keep yelling at him. You're not getting nowhere.
Because it babies you.
But go keep doing it.
It absolutely.
I understand, sis. We rather hear that. We rather hear, girl, I understand. You know, niggas ain't shit. I get it. Yeah. I'm done with that conversation. I've had that conversation for how many years now? I'm 33. I've had that conversation for 10 years. It's time to move on. It's time to move on and get offended.
Because we live in a time where we only want to hear what makes us feel good.
And what makes us feel comfortable.
and what makes us comfortable and sit in our mess. No baby wants to sit in a dirty diaper for too long.
Absolutely not.
And so at some point, the diaper needs to be changed. And some of y'all have been full of it for a long time. And you've been sitting in your mess for quite some time. It's time to change it, though. And the only way to change that, you have to hear the truth.
You have to hear the truth, and you have to accept the truth.
And
Hearing
I'm sorry,
the truth is
there
one
are so
thing.
many people who are like, I want y'all to keep it real with me. No, you don't.
No, you don't. And I'm one of them. Because that's one thing about me. I love when people are being honest, but when in the moment, it does hurt. It doesn't mean that I love you being honest, but I'm going to smile when you're honest. No, like sometimes it's like, ooh, okay, all right. Nah, not too much, not too much.
I'm telling you now, I am the friend who will be like, if you want to know the truth, I just did it the other day, a couple weeks ago. My friend is going through something. She asked me, why did I ever, date this guy? I said, you want to know the truth? I said, you want to know the real answer? She said, yeah. And I told her the real answer. Did it feel good? No. Was it necessary? Absolutely. And that's the thing. Things that are necessary for growth never feel good at first.
Never.
You can't even go to the gym and walk out the gym feeling great. You're going to be sore the next day.
It hurts in the gym. I'd be so mad when I'm in the gym sometimes. Like, bro, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm just going to be fat. I'm going to have a big back for the rest of my life.
You so stupid.
I don't care.
Big back Jazzy.
Because it be, like, it hurts.
Call you BBJ.
But growth, like, the gym is a great metaphor for life. When you go into the gym and, like, when you go through a journey of trying to grow, trying to lose weight or build muscle, whatever you're doing, that journey should be the same exact formula outside of the gym. It's the same thing. You go there, you're in pain. You don't want to do it. You do it anyway. You know that because you know the outcome is going to be what you want. It's the same thing. So when we talk about the angry black woman, this is you being in the gym, hurting,
Right.
but you know the outcome is, okay, how can I express myself without that being, and I, like you said in the beginning, obviously everybody is not going to, you could probably talk calm and people still call you an angry black woman. I'm not saying that you're never going to be called that, even if you do all the right things. But I think the fight, I feel like as women, we're fighting this fight the wrong way. We're fighting this fight saying, just understand us, instead of actually being the person that doesn't get called that, or being the person that doesn't actually represent that. We rather represent an angry black woman and just call it something else, instead of saying, you know what, I do get a little aggressive. Let me calm down. Let me talk like this instead of talking like this.
Right.
Because that's how I talk. When I'm upset, you would think that I'm probably about to smack you when I'm upset. But there has been times that I was upset and I talked like this. So it can be done. It's just, we just think that it's okay because that's just how it's always been, which we're going to get into, in the next episode or whatever. But yeah, being offended, like I said, that is not a bad thing. I'm so sick of hearing about somebody being offended, or you can't say this because they'll be offended. Yes, I can.
Right.
Yes, I can. And I will continue to offend whoever. I will continue to do that. And I'm not just doing it to whoever. I'm doing it to myself. I do this to myself at home at night. This is real work that's happening at home at night. I may cry myself to sleep because I can't. I know I failed a lot of times with not being able to handle my emotions correctly. I know that I was, probably the common denominator in my failed relationships because of my anger. I know that. Like I said, I'll get on social media and I'll see, stuff about, women who never get married and things like that. And I be fitting those descriptions and I'm like, dang. Sometimes I think like, oh, I'm probably the reason that I'm single. I'm probably the reason that I'll never be married. That is very devastating to me. But I'm never going to say, stop teaching women, about themselves because I'm offended by it. Or it makes me sad that I've made decisions that put me into the situation that I'm in now. So when people talk about that, I'm offended. So I want them to stop talking about it. Like, I think that's counterproductive. That doesn't make sense.
Right.
So yeah, that was just my little spiel on being offended. Like, let's be offended. Let's be offended and let's look at it differently. Look at it as the step to growth, right? Instead of it being like, no, I just want to stay the same. I just want to stay how I am. I want people to understand me. Like, understanding is one thing. I can understand a serial killer. He was abused. He was all of that. Or she, or whatever. But that doesn't mean, oh, keep killing people, baby, because I understand your pain. Like, no. Like, we want to get away with murder because of all the things that happen to us. But at the end of the day, that's just not how life works. And that's the painful part. That's the painful part for me. It's like, bro, I'm angry for a reason.
Right.
I'm angry for a reason. But I still have to control that. And that's the painful part. It's like, dang, I got to really like, all right, we're going to talk like this.
And
now.
I really want to hone in on that. I need you to hear what Nels is saying. She's not saying you can't be angry. That's not what she's saying. You can be angry. What you cannot do is allow your anger to cause you to make choices. You make emotional decisions.
Yes.
Which leads to eternal regret.
Yes, especially if it's not giving you the results you want. You know what I mean? Like, if you, I know for a fact that my anger has kept me from relationships, has kept me from being able to sustain relationships. I know for a fact I have pushed men away from me because of my anger. I know that for a fact. But I'm also a woman that wants to be married. So I have to put 2 and 2 together. 1 + 1 = 2. You don't get to say, yeah, I was angry for a reason though. He did this, he did this, he did that. But you still have the power to make decisions. You don't have to, like you said, make decisions based on your emotions. You can have the emotions and not make decisions based off of them.
Right.
So I mean, we already kind of talked about perception. I haven't heard, perception, like men and women's perception. I think we kind of tackled that a little bit. I think, like I said, a woman's perspective or perception of an angry Black woman, I feel like that doesn't exist. There's no such thing as an angry Black woman. It's just Black women. There's no such thing as an angry Black woman. It's just Black women. That's just us. Whereas, men, that's just from, men I've spoken to, research I've done from people who have sustained long-term marriages and things like that. The way it's perceived to men, and, obviously, Dave, you can, add to it. They just simply don't like it. Simply don't like it. They don't want the smoke, right? They don't want all of that. They don't want the tough girl. They don't want the chest sticking out. They don't want the muscles flaring up. They don't want that from us.
Let me put it this way. We want that woman. We want the type of woman. If you are out in the world, because the hardest thing is to be from what I've learned, from what I've seen, what I've heard, the hardest thing is to be a Black woman in America, especially in corporate America. It's crazy enough to be a woman in corporate America. It's insane to be a Black woman in America, especially corporate America. Mm-hmm. Now, you have to, a man knows that you have, a real man knows you have to be that chest sticking out, be that woman out there.
You don't. I disagree.
Wait a minute. If your goal is to get to the top, in most cases, I'll even say, a lot of women feel they have to be that.
I think
But
that's
the thing
real.
is, if that's how you feel, whatever. When you come in this house,
Hey, say that.
when you
Turn it off, baby.
when you come in here, when you walk through that door,
Flip the switch.
you better flip that thing off.
And that's the thing.
Because what you're not gonna do is try to be the man in this house.
Right.
No, I married a woman.
Right.
Ain't nothing against everybody else. In this house,
Right.
I am the head in this house.
Right.
I am the leader of this house.
Say that. Say that. Dad.
So what you're not going to do is think because you act a certain way out there because you have to means you going to act like that in here. Because you have to be a certain way in a meeting out there, you not going to be that way in here. You can be soft. You can collapse. You can
fall back.
fall back and not be that out there.
You don't got to be a boss. You can, and that's the thing too. Like, there's a misconception of being a boss. People think being a boss is just bossing people around.
And
Sometimes being
all-
a boss is sitting down and letting someone lead you.
Let me tell you what the greatest bosses do. Because I'm a boss myself.
Period.
Bosses have to be visionaries. They can't do the small thing. You can't be out there telling everybody else what to do, casting vision, and telling everybody where the company is going, and then come and do all the small details for that to happen.
Yeah.
No successful business, the CEO or the boss runs everything.
Absolutely.
That's
not.
why you have to have people you trust in certain positions.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to see Jeff Bezos hiring somebody. Never.
And you know why that is? The reason why is because you're not good at everything. You know, and that's one thing I feel like, you know, when you talk about corporate America and they feel like they have to come home and be the boss too, it's just like being a good boss is understanding that you're not going to be good at every single thing that's needed for something to work, right? There are other people that might be better at something than you. A good boss knows how to identify that in themselves and identify that in other people. So good bosses know how to identify strengths in other people, weaknesses in themselves, collaboration. You know, you're good at this, you're going to do this, I'm good at this. That's what a real boss does. The fake bosses try to control everything. You know, they're trying to be the everything. That's not a real boss. A real boss understands that they need other people of different strengths.
Right. Because you want everybody to believe you can do it all. And it's really more a reflection on you than it is the business and who you are. Trust me. I've tried to do it all myself. You're going to get burnt out. And it's going to suck. Which
Yes.
is also leading back to, leading back to relationships between men and women. You're not going to be that in this house.
Right. So let's go back to corporate America. So I have here one of the reasons I feel like the angry black woman is a thing is because there's this misconception of strength, which I touched on a little bit earlier. So I have here as a little example I thought of last night. You could think of it like a few Amazon boxes, right? Mm-hmm. You have an Amazon box full of clothes and you have an Amazon box full of glass. One of the Amazon boxes that's full of clothes, you can just throw that to the ground.
Right.
The one that's full of glass, you kind of have to take better care of that. You can't just throw that to the ground.
Right.
So when I say the misconception of strength, there is this idea that if I'm strong, I'll be handled properly. I'll be handled with care. I'll be handled with, but it's really the opposite. When you're strong, you're tossed around. A tree trunk gonna get stepped on, sat on, you know, people, you're not gonna treat a tree trunk the same as you treat a glass. Something that can break.
Why would I waste my time trying to build up something that's already built? It ain't broke. Why would I need to fix it?
So there is this misconception of strength.
Yes, it is. I agree.
Because really it's the fragile side of you is what really ignites being handled properly. Like I said, a piece of glass, a nice glass you don't want to break. You sit the eggs in the front seat. You don't put that in the trunk with the rest of your groceries.
Right.
There is a different type of treatment that comes with fragile stuff. So when I say there's a misconception of strength, that's what I mean. We think that we're gonna be we so good, we don't need anything because we're so strong. But at the same time, we do need things. So we realize that the people that are the strongest end up being alone with no help. But at the end of the day, it's the fragile people.
Yes.
It's the people that allow themselves to be broken. Is the people that's being handled properly, the people that can be taken care of. And I don't mean financially. This can be in any way, shape, or form that you need to be taken care of. Whatever is broken. But if we're so strong and we don't allow ourselves to be fragile, how can we expect to be handled with care if we're always strong?
And I'm gonna tell you now, ladies, I need y'all to listen to me. If you want to act like you got it all together, you don't need no man, you don't need no help. I'm gonna tell you what a man is gonna do. He's gonna go let you be that. And if you are in a relationship with this man and you wondering why he don't want to do nothing with you or for you no more, because you Wonder Woman, you Superwoman. Go be that.
No, for real.
Seriously, go. I'm not about to sit here and go back and forth with you about anything anymore.
And I don't even think that it's always intentional for men. Like,
it's not. We want to be Superman for you. I promise you we do.
Yeah.
We want to be that guy for you. But you got to get out the way.
Yeah.
You have to allow us to be that for you, to be that strong man, that strong foundation for you.
Yeah.
But if you want to be big, hard body, muscle bound woman and you want to be the man in a relationship, go. I want to marry a woman who's a woman.
Who and is, like
and
I said,
that's
it's
gonna offend
showing
a lot
the
of y'all,
brokenness.
and I do not care.
It's showing the brokenness, right? It's showing the fragileness. If you're strong all the time, you're never broke. So there's nobody's coming to rescue you. Nobody's coming to help you because you don't need help.
Actually, I disagree with that. If you are strong all the time, it's because you are broken. And you're trying to portray.
Well, yeah.
You're trying to portray that you're strong. And it's like, a man like me, I see right through that.
Yeah.
And
but I think some men, it's not even that. So I don't feel like every man is really thinking like, oh, she's too strong. I can't help her. I think it literally just naturally happens like that. I really think you get into a situation where a man doesn't help you. I think that situation is more of like a byproduct. It's more of like a result of what you're showing him. Right. It's not really him just sitting at home thinking like, she's too strong for my help. She doesn't want my help. It's more so like he's not thinking about helping you because you don't ever show that you need help.
And you can't help me. You can't. Because you're trying to be who I'm supposed to be. Like, if we're not playing our part.
Right.
You're trying to play my part. When I need you if I'm having a weak moment and I come to you, who you are, the part you play helps me get my strength back. But if you want to be big, strong woman all the time and you don't need me, then what are we doing? Why are we here?
Right. Right. For sure.
You feel like if I'm having a weak moment, you need to be me. No, I need you to be you.
Yeah.
And play your part.
Yeah.
and play on your strengths.
Yeah.
That's what makes me get back to me.
Yeah.
But you feel like you got to do everything and you get pissed off. Well, I just do everything, then stop doing everything. Stop. Literally stop. Because nobody told you had to do everything.
Nobody. Well, I ain't gonna. That might be debatable, but we're gonna get into that next week. But yes, I totally agree. Because I deal with that all the time. Like, I don't never have men just offer me help, but then like I would have men offer me help, and then it's like my pride sucks. I need help with my pride. My pride is terrible.
And you also don't ask for help either.
No, I don't ask. I don't. So yeah, I'm learning this right now. You know, like you're a piece of glass. You're not a box of, you know, stuff that can be tossed to the side, that literally can be tossed across the room. You're not that strength. You're a piece of glass. You're fragile. You can break. And that's okay because we need it. We that's the reason why we're relational beings, because we need each other.
Yeah.
So it's okay to be broken. It's okay. And then shoot, that could even play into your relationship with God. If you so strong, how can you really, you know, I remember Sarah Jake Roberts said that. She was like, I think she said she was praying to God one day and like, God, why, you know, I forget what her exact words was, but it was just like, why, like basically, why am I broken? Why am I this? Why am I down? Why am I that?
Yeah.
And she said God told her, if it wasn't for those moments, you'd never need me.
Right.
So you have to be broken. You have to be, think about, you know what I'm saying? Like that plays into, like, this don't even have to be relationships, like intimate relationships. This could just be your relationship with God. If you're strong all the time, how do you pray? What do you pray about?
Listen. And most people, going back to the whole offense thing, what you mean I need to be broken? What you mean, you know, I'm supposed to be put back together? You can't do it yourself.
Right.
Which is why you need to be broken.
Right.
That is telling me right there, your pride is telling me you need to be broken.
Yeah. Or just show your brokenness, because you really are broken. And we're going to get into that too next week about it's all a facade, right? This misconception of strength. You know, I think we rely on our anger to appear strong when really it's not that at all.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of the opposite of it. So to circle back to its lack of effectiveness, and I want to go back to the corporate America example that you brought up.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's this misconception about how women have to be in the workplace, how we have to appear strong, how we have to be kind of like men, this boss guy or whatever, the way he speaks, his delivery of things. We feel like we have to match their energy because it's a man's world. Corporate America is a man's world, right? So being a black woman in corporate America, we have to be this strong woman, right? To get to the top. You guys said that. If you're trying to get to the top, you feel like you gotta be this strong person, that you gotta kind of mimic what a man does. I am learning that is so furthest from the truth. Because think about it. Women are very influential. When we are not trying to be like men and we are just womanly, and the way we present ourselves as a woman and the way we speak as a woman and the way we look as a woman, I feel like that will get us to the top way quicker than trying to act like a man in corporate America. Even in corporate America,
Yeah.
you're a woman, the essence of a woman. That energy that you bring to that company should be beneficial to that company. Right. There are benefits for being a feminine, soft woman. You know, you got a room full of, bold, you got a room full of boss men, and then this woman walks in the room. It's a different essence. You bring something different to the table. You bring something else. We don't have to be just like men in corporate America. We can be womanly. And think about, so I say that women are influential. Just think about like a movie, We watch a random movie. I don't even know. It could be any movie. Any movie. The way women are presented in movies, like especially older movies, women were women in corporate America. And they knew how to get their boss to do things that they wanted their boss to do.
Right.
They were able to talk to their boss. They were womanly. They may look you in the eye. They're going to talk to you a certain way. Whatever it is, whatever your woman essence is, I feel like we kind of got away from that. We kind of want to be like the men because we feel like that's what we're supposed to do, but you don't have to be that way, right? You can be this, like I said in movies, like even if you think of anything like Pretty Woman, she was a woman. That's why he wanted to talk to her. That's what made him want to talk to her. Yes, she was a prostitute, but she was womanly. He was a big boss, but that wasn't what that was about. And her woman, the way she presented herself as a woman to him, her sensuality and all of that that's what kept him around with her. So I think we kind of got away from this, we gotta be strong, we gotta be this, we gotta be that in corporate America. But really, we can kind of get men to do whatever we want them to do if we were more womanly than we were manly.
You're right. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. So
You're
I feel like
right.
I completely disagree with this idea that, I feel like, there's this idea that in corporate America, we have to be this strong, I'm not taking no mess. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm this strong person. Let the men do that. We're not there for that. We can still get if we're good at our job, we're smart, we bring things to the table, our energy and all of that, just to think about if we do have all the qualifications to be, to get promoted and get these high positions that we want. Just think about how influential we will be to men if we were bringing something that they weren't bringing to the table. Why would a man in a man's world want to promote a woman that acts just like him? He's going to want you to bring something else to the table. And a lot of us literally already bring way something else different to the table because we're women. We're not men. So we automatically are bringing something different to the table just because of who we are. And if we would just embrace that more,
Right.
I feel like that would be more influential. And like I said, we see that in movies all the time. I feel like we kind of gotten away from what influences a man.
What was that woman movie? Taraji P. Henson. She
played in a lot of movies.
Clearly. She could hear men's thoughts.
What I think that was
What men think or something like that.
because it was
Originally, it was like Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. What men want? Because it was the other one. The Mel Gibson was what women want.
Yeah, what men want. That's what it was called. And it was her character is literally what we are talking about. And she was in the corporate world. She was a sports agent trying to get what the men got. And really, she met this guy who didn't have what she had and think she was very attracted to him. But she was so busy trying to be the boss. And he was like, nah, like, I ain't going for that.
Yeah.
Like, we not playing that game. And so what she had to do some self-reflection, some introspection. Like, if I want to be with this man, I can't be who I am at work.
Right.
Matter of fact, I can just be a woman.
Right.
And be my complete self.
Right.
Without having to compromise my femininity.
Right.
To be on the same level as men.
Right.
Matter of fact, I'm going to take my own talents and start my own thing. And it's like, you really don't have to be like a man. You really ain't got to think like a man. So sorry, Steve Harvey. Love you. You're great.
You're great.
Would love to hang out sometime.
Shut
But
up.
I disagree with the whole think like a man thing. No, you can think like a woman and just get to know the man you're trying to be with.
Yeah. Literally. And like I said, I just feel like I feel like women have gotten away from being influential. Being influential. I feel like when you are really in tune with who you are as a woman, you shouldn't have any issues with when it comes to men. And I'm not talking about just relationships. I'm talking about period.
Yeah.
I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about you and your dad, you and your brother, you and your boss at work. You should be able to influence them because you are womanly. And it's very easy to influence a man when you are a woman, when you are
Yeah.
actually a woman.
And honestly, let me tell y'all, women pay very close attention to the details. There's one thing I love about women. Y'all see the small things that we do not see. And when I tell you, if you just let that woman be a woman, ladies, if you just let yourself be in the fulfillment of who God made you to be,
Literally.
I promise you, you will get that man to do and see anything you want.
So just think about that. Just think about that. How we were meant to be influential. We were meant to be sensual. We were meant to be everything a man isn't. We were meant to be those things. And then think about that and the statistic going around that it's like 40, I haven't looked at it in a long time, but it's in the 40 percentile that of black women who would never marry. It's like 45% or something like that of black women who will never get married. And think about it, like, how many times have we gotten in relationships and they never proposed? They never wanted to propose. You know, think about how many women who've never been proposed to. You know, but you know that God created you for a man. I know people hate when that's a topic. We were created for a man, but a lot of us can't even influence a man to want to stick around. How is it that we have so many failed relationships when we can really get a man? We should be able to get a man to do whatever we want him to do. How could you have so many failed relationships when your man's supposed to be, listen, at your beck and call? Really?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what we see. I mean, that may be how it started off because he haven't gotten to know you yet. Then when he get to know you, he start falling back on the things that he was doing to get you because you're not influential.
And it's because you want to do everything yourself.
You're not influential. You're angry.
Or you started complaining about what he does for you. And now, because you don't know how to keep your mouth shut, he stopped doing it.
Learning how to be quiet. Who is that lady?
Oh, my God.
She said silence is a woman's greatest power.
Was that Ayanna?
I think it was Ayana.
Yeah.
And that's so true. It's like, I'm going to let you talk. Mm-hmm. I remember this other girl I follow. I can't remember her name. But somebody asked her a question like, what do you do when a man is angry at you? She said, I just be quiet. And she said it just like that, like, I just be quiet. Just listen. And if I do talk, I'm going to talk like this. I'm going to empathize. Just think about how influential that would be to a man that's angry with you. Instead of us, we'd be ready to pop
When I
off.
say give her the world, if she would just shut
up.
Like, just let me talk.
Let him talk.
Because what you don't want is for that man to get quiet. And I've spoken about the man cave. Once you are the reason he's in there, I don't care how many times, how sweet you are from then on, it's going to be very scary to come out. Because every time I come out, you got something to say.
Right. Man.
And it's not even
or
beneficial.
not even let you be quiet. That's another thing.
It's like you got an opinion for everything. You got to say how you feel about everything.
Woo! You talking to me right now. Getting offended over here.
And it's like,
Because I always got
Well,
something to say.
Well, this, that, and the other. Why do you care? I don't
just so
like
much-
when, why do you care right now? We just trying to eat. Look at that person over there. What they got to do with what we doing right now? Why do you care?
Yeah, I remember April Mason. That's like my favorite person right now. She's so dope. She said that in her relationship, if her man is mad at her, she'll tell him like, listen, I understand that you're mad, but I'm hungry. Can we go get something to eat? And they will go out to dinner and they won't talk about nothing, no angry talk. They won't talk about any other problems that's going on. Now, I know that's one of my issues. If it's a problem going on in the relationship, ain't no dinner unless we talking about the problem over dinner. And I say it just like that, obviously, right? Which is an incorrect delivery.
Yes, it is. And that man will walk out that house and be
Ain't
like,
no dinner. I remember one time in my last relationship, we was supposed to go out to dinner, but we argued so much he wasn't even hungry no more. It's just like, bro, like it's no point of going.
I'm tired. I don't want to
We
eat.
done sat here for 2 hours. We was, I'm hungry. I wanted to go
Actually,
eat.
let me tell you what it is. He hungry. He just don't want to eat with you.
He about to go get something to eat and go home.
And then you going to be mad for real. Oh, so you just going to go eat? Yes.
Yeah, so April Mason, she said, so after dinner, she was like, you still got to handle your business. No, this was in her marriage. She was like, well, you still got to handle your business, in the bedroom too, After dinner, after sex and all that, then we done calmed down. We done ate. We done had a few drinks. We done had sex. Perfect time now to start talking about our issues. Because
Yeah.
now we're calm. We ain't even mad no more.
That's why
I just thought that was a super, because what women are doing that. When we get into confrontations with our husbands and boyfriends, we can't let it go. We can't let it go. We angry. That's what you call illogical, ill-tempered. We can't let things go and go to dinner.
I'm serious. When I say, and I know from personal experience, ladies, y'all really need to learn how to let stuff go.
Let it go and shut up.
Like,
If
let
it's
it-
something, because the thing is, a lot of times the issues that you have in your relationships, it's not deal breakers. It's not something that's gonna make you want to leave. So why not? Yes, why not go to dinner? We're not breaking up.
like, I mean, mad about something that ain't going to matter 5 years from now.
It ain't gonna matter an hour from now, really. It's just some little thing that happened. And you gotta get an apology so much, even though you still about to be mad, you still gonna talk about it. You still gonna rub it in his face.
And let me tell you what the most irritating thing is. I'm not even saying you can't talk about it. It's when we've talked about it, I've said what I had to say, and you keep bringing it back up.
Because you're not satisfied.
Well, nothing's changed. It just happened yesterday. It happened a
No,
week.
seriously.
It happened a week ago. I would love for you to shut up. Doesn't mean you gonna shut up today or tomorrow. At some point though, you gotta chill out.
Being influential. You know what I'm saying? Thinking of ways that to get what you want. You want to talk about the issue. You do. But that don't mean you got to force him to. Maybe you just kind of manipulate him a little bit. Let's go to dinner. Let's have sex.
Find a way that works.
Let's light a candle.
Suck his penis. Do something.
Let me answer the door with lingerie on, even though he's confused because he expected you to be a hothead. No, we gonna have sex because I'm horny.
Let me open the door and you just be bent over, ready to go. Okay.
Because I'm not leaving you at the end of the day. Sometimes I feel like arguments turn into a breakup because it's a constant situation when sometimes it just needs to be a tomorrow task. It don't have to be a today task. It could be tomorrow. It can be the next day. A Tuesday problem don't have to be solved on Tuesday. It can be solved on Friday. You can focus on whatever's going on, other things that's going on Tuesday. Because I feel like that is more influential to the man to do what you want him to do. It's not that you're just doing it because, okay, well, I should do that. Okay, no, you're doing that because you're pretty much manipulating your man to give you what you want. You're just going about it a different way.
Or I'm gonna make this a shirt. I say this literally every episode for several times. Go see a therapist. If you are not getting the results you want, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The therapist is going to talk about you, not what he doing, but what you're doing.
What you're doing.
Which is why most people will not go to therapy, because you are so afraid to dig deep and see why you are actually the problem in your relationship. Oh, he act like this because I do this? Yes.
or
now-
he can have his own issues.
Or then it'll be like, let's not even talk about the issue. Let's talk about how you act in the issue.
Right.
And why that's a thing.
Right.
Why do you respond? But that's why most people don't go.
Right.
And then they give you tools to help you with that. But most people don't want to do the work. That's what it is. You don't. You want to sit in your comfortable self.
Right.
And you don't want to grow. And that's why your relationships suck. And that's why they will most likely fail.
Right.
Because you won't do the internal growth.
Right. And then, like I said, studying your man, things that he likes, the things that he wants. You want him to give you what you want, but he's not getting anything out of that.
Right.
Like he doesn't want to argue, but you want him to give you an argument. Why don't you trade for trade? I want you to give me an argument. You don't want to? Okay, so what can I give him that's going to make him want to argue with me, or that's going to make him want to have this conversation now? That's going to make him more comfortable having this conversation now. We don't think like that. No, you just got to come wanting to have a conversation because that's what you're supposed to do in relationships. But it's like, yeah, but that's not working. That's the whole point, is seeing this idea of what we're doing and how it's not effective. So now we got to go back and say, what I'm doing isn't effective. I need to change what I'm doing. No, we rather change the man. We rather change the man. The man, he don't want to talk about stuff. So I got to go to the next man that want to talk about stuff.
I'm going to tell y'all.
You don't have nothing to change. It's all about changing the man.
Let me tell y'all, Bishop Jake said one of the most amazing things I ever heard in my life. He said, don't fix me. Do not pastor me. Do not try to be my therapist. You can't fix me. You just have to meet me and love me where I am.
Right. Right.
But you so fixated on me being your passion project.
Right.
That might be another episode.
Woo.
Because most people get in relationships because of somebody else's brokenness, and you thrive off the fact that they're doing worse than you. And you want to be the person that says, ooh, look what I did for them. And they are your passion project.
So all of it, everything that you're doing is feeding you. You're not feeding him at all. This is all about you. You get into relationships for you. You're not really getting into relationships. Somebody said that. I think it was that book I read with those two, that couple. I forget. One of them is an actor on a Tyler Perry show. I always forget their names. DeVal.
DeVal.
He said that. He was like, don't get in relationships if you don't want to be of service. He was like, that's one thing that we had to learn, them two, because I think they got together really, really young. And they had to learn that throughout their marriage. Like, it's not about me. Once they got out of, because that's what the book was called, We Over Me. Mm-hmm. Once they changed that perception where it's about being of service to somebody else, what can I do for this person?
And it's about being a servant in the beginning.
Yeah.
With them.
Yeah.
Don't try to come serve me after you feel like I got to prove myself to you that
right.
I'm not. This ain't what that is. Because now you see that everything is working.
Yeah.
And now you want to be a bandwagon servant. Right. No.
Right. And that's the thing too. Like, I feel like you're being of service because it benefits you. Right? We just talked about that with the whole idea April Mason had. Like, you want something out of this person, so give them something that's going to make them want to give it to you.
Right.
So, yeah. What else did I want to talk about? So I have here angry as a secondary emotion. You already talked about that. And I think that's just it's more deeper than what it's more deeper than just simply, oh, it's a secondary emotion. Because, you don't wake up angry, but some of us do wake up angry. You know what I'm saying? But why? Why is this anger issue even a thing? Why is it that we are ill-tempered? We are overbearing. We are bitter. Why? Where does that come from? And I just think that's a deep question. And I couldn't, I had to stop it right there because that's a whole other episode of why that even happens. Where does this stuff even come from? Because we can talk about surface things all the time, in relationships. The way I was treated in corporate America back in the day as a Black woman, I mean, I can go on and on about that, just whatever, but there is a reason why the anger came from that. There is something broken in us that makes us angry. And I think that's the reason why we are angry and aggressive, because we are broken and we have used anger and aggression to portray strength because we are broken. And that's like one of the main reasons why I wanted to talk about it, because I had to, I think recently, recently I had to identify myself as an angry Black woman. And then I had to dig deep as to why. Because there's a reason for that. And there's a reason I don't ask for help. And there's a reason that I'm always strong, because I'm really broken for real. And I'm really angry at a lot of things. And I have 1,000 reasons, but there's deeper reasons even on top of our individual stories. There's a deeper reason that I want to get into next week. So I don't know, did you have anything else to say about anger being a secondary emotion?
No, there's probably next episode. There's this wheel, I think it's called like a wheel of emotions, where it like you start in the middle, and it has like anger, whatever, what you're feeling, and you go out to see like what it really is. So it's
Okay.
So yeah, I'll have that next episode.
Yeah, for sure.
I use it a lot.
I know that's right.
Because I'm like, look, you really know how I'm feeling? There you go. Now leave me alone.
You get over there.
Like, there you go. All right.
All right. Next topic. And here we go, women. We gotta talk about it.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
We'll talk about it when I'm ready. But great conversation, though.
It was. And we definitely going to dig way deeper into this next episode. I really wanted to try to get it in on one episode, but I know me, and that probably wasn't going to be the case.
Nope.
So, yeah. Angry Black
Great.
Woman.
Tune in next week for part 2. This next segment is called Did That Really Happen? And I don't know the backstory of this. I'm going to guess and say they are Black.
Oh, come on. Don't do that to us. Don't do that to us, Dave.
Yeah,
it could have been a white girl.
No.
It was an angry Black woman, huh?
I don't know. But this couple was out to eat. And I don't know where. Like I said, I don't know the backstory. The amount came to $32.76. Whatever. Or maybe they were at the bar.
They were at Applebee's.
Whatever. And
my tab alone be more than that.
She's supposed to, they were supposed to leave a tip.
Obviously.
Clearly. And she wrote down
on the tip line.
Don't call my husband sweetheart.
Hey, when I saw that, I was crying. Cause what?
Now, Nails. Hypothetically speaking.
Yeah.
You are in a committed relationship.
Uh-huh.
To a very attractive man.
Uh-huh.
And you go out to eat.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just setting this up to what my mind went to the first time I saw this. And the waitress comes. she's flirting with your man a little bit, you know, all that. How would you leave something like this as her tip?
As a bartender, come on. That's almost a dumb question, Dave. Absolutely not. I'm tipping. I'm tipping if you give me bad service.
Let me tell you,
But would I want to leave something like that? Yeah, probably.
I believe in using my wife's looks to get extra special service. I do not care. Even if I'm with my friends and they are very attractive, I would be like, gonna make something happen.
Because why? We're influential, right?
Also, this actually happened in Pittsburgh. The amount of, so we were able, if we get a cash tip, we can keep it, right? The amount of cash tips I got. 'Cause for some reason, middle-aged white women think I am just the sexiest thing moving. And it's because I am.
I love it. Shut up.
The amount of women that were like, you're so cute, and would give me a cash tip.
Pretty privilege is a thing, honey.
And I just strongly believe, like, yeah, use your looks to your advantage. Why not? I mean, and I would literally just be like, what can I get you? And they would be like, oh, you're so nice and you're so cute. I'm just going to leave you a tip. Some of them will use their card, and if they use a card, I don't get the tip. But they would not leave a tip because I wasn't the one getting the tip.
No, seriously.
And these were full married women. And some of them weren't, but most of them weren't. But my point is, first of all, leave the woman. Don't be that insecure. Like, don't call my husband. First of all. Okay. Other scenario. Maybe this woman knows that her husband and this waitress or bartender, whoever, she know they been fooling around or she been calling.
Oh, my God. That's a different story.
She been calling.
I'm still going to tip. Because one thing I'm not going to do, and what I don't understand about women, is the fact that, because I tell y'all firsthand, I am not a confident person for real. I fake it. I am not confident at all. I wouldn't say at all. But when it comes to like certain things.
I was about to say it depends on the situation.
Yeah, well, it depends on the situation. Like, but I feel like in a relationship, I could be insecure. I could be, you know, stuff like that would not, you calling my husband sweetheart probably would make me feel like, especially if she's beautiful. Whoa, you know, like that's probably what that was. The waitress or bartender was probably beautiful. That's probably what it really was. And I think that women, you know, she was probably just not confident. Maybe she didn't feel as beautiful as her. I see that happen all the time as a bartender. I hate to say it, but you know, women that come into bars with their man, and yeah, I hate to say it, but they'll see me. They don't want to come over and be, you know, or they look at how much that he's tipping me, or they're upset about that. Like, you know, because they just, it's like some women, you know, when they get themselves all the way together, they bring insecurities out in women. And we see that all the time as bartenders. You can talk to any attractive bartender and she will tell you like how many insecurities she see with women when they bring their man in there. It's bizarre. And these women be beautiful themselves, but it's just something about another beautiful woman and your man having to encounter with her. But this is the point I'm trying to get to real quick. I don't understand, and that's the reason why I brought up the fact that I'm not confident. One thing I'm never going to do is show another woman that. Do something like that. Like, oh, I'm a tip, baby, and I'm a tip greatly. You're not going to see that I'm not confident about this. You're not going to see that I'm insecure. Even though I'm Saudi for real, because you kind of gorgeous, but you know, I'm Saudi. He did look at you a little longer than I wanted him to, but I'm going to give you this $20 tip. You know, because I'm not going to show you that I'm not confident. I don't understand how women do that. I don't understand how women will literally sweat another woman like openly like that. That's crazy to me. That's bizarre to me because that's all that is. You know what I'm saying? Like you're so not confident in yourself that you would show another woman that you're insecure about how she looks. Or you're insecure about how maybe her, because I'm pretty sure if her husband was mean to the girl or something like that, that probably wouldn't have happened. I'm pretty sure he didn't mind, right?
yeah.
He
But-
probably was attracted to
But
her.
what gets me though is the call. Like, don't call my husband sweetheart, which means she probably has his number somehow.
No, she was saying like, calling him sweetheart. Like, you okay, sweetheart? Can I get you any more?
Oh,
get
that
you
yeah.
any water?"
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Don't call my husband sweet.
Oh, you meant it like, don't call my husband,
Yeah,
sweetheart. You
yeah.
meant it like that. No, I think it was like she was kind of maybe flirting with him, but not really. Because, it could come off as flirt. We're servers and bartenders. We're supposed to be smiley.
You know,
We're going
many
to flirt.
times I've been called baby,
I
sweetheart.
call everybody love,
handsome.
babe. Here you go, babe. I mean nothing by it.
Like most people, it's just a little cute little nickname. Like that's just what they do to everybody. Like I hate when people make it bigger than what it is. You're really
Yes.
not. You're not that special. Like come on.
You're not.
And
Like
it's
I forgot about you. Like, first of all, he probably wasn't even cute to the girl. Like, she probably was cute, but he probably wasn't even cute to her.
And that's also the thing. Like these, I am not.
You know
even
how many men we come across as bartenders? We do not care about your husband, baby. We don't care.
These white women the other day, I'm like, that is so nice. And you're drunk, number one. Number two, there's no way.
Right.
No way. It was one young girl. Held the little thing for her to put her card in. She holds my hand. And I was like, ma'am, go on. You have no chance.
Yes.
But she was calling me handsome, baby, all that stuff. And I was just like, I don't care.
You know what that make me think of real quick? I'm sorry. You remember that episode? Did you watch My Wife and Kids?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember that. That was like one of my favorite. That's probably hands down my favorite show. Like as far as family shows,
Yeah.
super dope. But there was an episode where I even forgot the guy's the main character's name, David Wayans, but I forget his name. Michael. He took a dancing class. And the dance instructor was this beautiful, Spanish dance instructor or whatever. And Jay, like, she felt the way, but she kind of was like, she felt the way, but it was all like jokes. And like, you could tell that Jay was her own confident self or whatever, basically. Like, it wasn't like this huge deal. Like, she let him do his thing. She kind of felt the way, but it was like, okay. But what I liked, what Jay did, is she switched the dance instructor so it's a handsome guy.
Right.
And made him feel what she felt. But most of us would have just got mad at him for being this so flirtatious with this dance instructor. She like, oh, nah, you want to do that? Okay, go ahead, do your thing, baby. Let me go ahead and get this nice little muscular man to dance me around. Yeah, you don't like it that much no more. And I think that's like what confident women do. Confident women know that the girl that you staring at, that you think is so beautiful or whatever, a man is staring at me the same exact way. So I ain't worried about it.
And let me say this. I expect people to, like, if I'm out by myself, I expect women to hit on me. Uh-huh. 'Cause like I said, I'm a very attractive.
We know. Okay,
I'm a
Dave.
very attractive man.
Okay.
You have to, like, if you're married to a attractive person, if you're not with them, they're gonna get hit on. Like, you were attracted to them. The attraction from other people don't stop because you're attracted to them and you married them or you got them.
Right.
That doesn't stop.
And people are attracted to you. If
Right.
you want to feel better about your man getting hit on, no, baby, when you get yourself together, you walk outside, they're gonna be doing the same thing to you.
Right.
So it don't matter. Like, he gonna get attention, but baby, you gonna get probably even more. I can't be worried about. That's one thing I don't really show. Like, I will be unconfident and insecure about it a little bit, but I'm not ever gonna show my man that, because at the end of the day, like, bro, if there was a competition with who gets more attention,
but my
it's
thing
very
is-
easy for a woman to get 1,000 much
Right.
more attention than a man.
And it is what it is. It's like,
Right.
ain't nobody thinking about that. Like,
Nobody cares.
nobody walks out the house wondering how many people gonna compliment me today.
Right, like-
how many looks I'm gonna get. Nigga, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat.
No, seriously.
I want to go out, do what I need to do, come back home. Like, ain't nobody thinking about all that.
Stop letting these women see. You got the husband already. Stop
Right.
letting these other women see that you insecure about it.
It's so stupid.
It really is.
Well, it's the end of our episode. It was a great conversation.
It was. I can't
was
wait for
fun.
next week.
Right. All right. Listen, dope stuff coming. I keep saying that, and it's in the works. I'm just not making no announcements yet. But thank y'all for tuning in. We not but for real. We out.
Peace out.
Nah, but for real, tell me how I feel. We on that fire, tell me what's the deal.